So today's guest, I bet she has a pole بالبيت.
Definitely.
So Laura, أهلا وسهلا. Can you briefly introduce yourself?
Sure. اسمي لورا أيوب، عمري 34 سنة. درست hospitality management، اشتغلت فيها تقريبا 10 سنين. وهلا عندي مدرسة اسمها polefitlebanon. It's a pole dancing school with 6 locations around the country. That's me.
Okay, so it's your Instagram, so I'm gonna say it lollipop. So ليه شو صار يعني how شو الجيرني يعني how did you find out about pole? When was the first time? ليه you were amazed by it, and then now today and خلاص this is your life, your career.
All right, let's go. So I started pole dancing super randomly in a bachelorette party in France. I hadn't heard about it much, hadn't seen it necessarily. And when we were walking towards the beach and we saw pole dancing studio and all the girls got super hyped. And I remember I was sick and I was like, no, let's go to the beach, please. And I was very reluctant and more on the if I'm so not down for this, but you do whatever the brides want to do and you follow the pace. And so I went with doing what was asked of me. And I remember that it was really complicated and I was shocked. I didn't really think much of it before going in. I hadn't...
إنه فايتين تتسلوا bachelorette party.
Yes, but I hadn't really connected it to a specific taboo or no taboo. I was just like, no, girls being girls, you know. No.
But before that, have you seen before videos of pole dancing, a show? Have you been to a show?
I remember on one of the Got Talent.
Okay.
I had seen it went viral and I was like so impressed, but not my thing.
Yeah. And you were just impressed. There was no point of interest for you to give it a try at this point.
No. Like, wow, but no.
طب خلص this class with your friends. شو صار؟
Exactly. So when I tried the class, I had a lot of fun. It was challenging, but also physically, mentally, but also really entertaining. And I was very mindful because you have to concentrate a lot. You're doing a lot of things at the same time. So it challenges your coordination, which was not my forte at all. Neither was grace and sensuality and all this side of pole dancing. But then at the end, we asked the teacher to hop on the pole for us. And I remember, seeing this in front of me now, looking so graceful and effortless and feather-like, whereas I had just tried it and I was up for the challenge attracted me. I was like, no, this is really cool. Plus, when I experienced it, I really felt like there was a mix of dance and gymnastic, which is really what pole dancing is. And I've always been attracted to both growing up. So I was going from there. I started researching classes in Lebanon, and I didn't find any at that moment. And so I was going from there to Cyprus, straight up. And I booked 2 classes there over 4 days. And I really had so much fun. Like it wasn't even a workout at that. It wasn't.
So هون بس لنعرف تقريبا time wise. So the bachelorette كانت أي سنة؟
2015.
Okay, and Cyprus?
2015, right after.
Oh, wow.
Like from the bachelorette, I went to Cyprus.
Wow,
from France to Cyprus. I booked 2 classes with my sister-in-law and her cousins. And we had a lot of fun. And long story short, eventually with time, I ordered a pole at home. Of course I have a pole at home. I even have a studio now, a small one. I ordered a pole and my mom, which was super cool, got me like DVDs, beginner, intermediate, Amazon, advanced that she found on Amazon. And I started studying
But
pole dancing.
No, imagine yourself on your laptop ordering a pole. So how was the experience?
Super complicated. First of all, no laptop, DVD, like the DVD machine. I remember my ex back then like really used to try to help me watch the video and coordinate between what to do. Put your right leg up, put your left leg down. It was chaotic, but really fun. Plus, you skip steps. It was really chaotic.
Because there was no one in the mic, there was no teachers, there was no like. It was all about seeing it on the screen. Yeah.
Yes, there was a teacher that, but we had started like more or less at the same time. So we would help each other
Learning
sometimes
from
and do jam sessions, but eventually he stopped. And
so
anyway.
on before that, مثلا, what were you doing? مثلا, were you like a gym goer? Were you like في قصص that helped you? ولا?
So personally growing up, I was always hyper, very hyper as a person. So physically active. The gym was never my thing. I went to the gym on and off for like a year, then skipping 2 years, going for 3 months, then skipping for another 3 years. Just because you know you have to work out. And I still go to the gym and stop for like 3 months and then get back to its same pattern. But I try to do it just to balance.
Yeah.
Yes, and to balance my strength and to stay healthy. But I admit it's not my favorite.
At the time, what was your job?
So I had 3 restaurants by then. I was
Okay.
managing partner in 3 restaurants with my partner, business partner. Could-on voir Nonna and Charlotte?
They're still there?
No, we resold.
I remember, I know Charlotte.
Yeah?
Yeah, I know Charlotte.
It was in Marib Khair.
Yes.
Could-on voir Nonna بعبد الوهاب.
Was it one of the main reasons يعني تركت restaurants eventually and to exit just to be dedicated to pole?
Absolutely.
Oh wow.
I loved it.
طيب your partner looked like, because you guys are on a good term, your partner, what was his reaction? No, but they're like بس شغلي يمكن I don't want restaurants anymore because I want to be into pole dancing.
My business partner.
Yeah. شو كانت reaction?
So هو صاروا القصص انه it happened very gradually يعني بلشت. So this is how it happened. So أول شيء I never thought I would teach pole dancing. It wasn't something that I necessarily craved. I was just very much into doing it. وكنت كتير مبسوطة بشغلي. I loved my job. I was working 15 hours a day, but I loved it. And a year later, the friend of a friend found out I was pole dancing وعم تفتح جيم. سألتني إذا بيهمني أعلم. And I was like, no, not at all. A year and a half into it, so تأخر الجيم شي 6 أشهر تيفتح. وأنا من بعد سنة ونص, I was obsessed with pole dancing. Like, I never had a passion. ما كنت عارفة شو يعني passion, شو الشعور, that it existed the way it existed, the way it's you become.
Were you addicted?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Addicted, enslaved. I felt like a slave to the passion. It followed. Whether I was exhausted or the mindset was always there. I was waking up, creating time to pole dance. It was the best feeling ever, being on the pole, and that learning curve was so fun and so rewarding at the same time. لأنه بول كل العالم بيفكروا انه لازم نكون وايا او لازم نكون flexible تنعمل pole dancing, which is absolutely not true. You need nothing. You need a mind. لأنه it's a complicated sport. فيه كتير coordination, so بتاخد وقت. And it's a little bitch. Sorry. يعني بتعطي كتير effort and you take back very little. But when you take back, يعني when you unlock a trick, because we work by tricks, وقتها بصير يزبط هالموف اللي انت لك يمكن 10 مرات عم بتجربه او سنه عم بتجربه, ولهلا في موفز اللي 7 سنين وبعدهم ما عم بيزبطوا. بس when it does work, you feel invincible.
You think that you needed it at the time, so اجى بالوقت المناسب discovering the sports? Or
Not at all. I think I connected to it this way because I tried a lot of sports, and I still do. And I have a thing with trying things. I think I love too many things. And yeah, I
found in this sport?
I've never loved something like pole dancing the same way. I love a lot of things. Too many things, really. And I get lost sometimes how to go by my day. But I've never loved anything or connected to it like pole dancing. And I think that it has so much that كل واحد بياخد شغلة منها. And for me, it was more, really more bringing the vulnerable side outside of me, because I was, again, very hyper and ورشة إذا بدك in life.
Were you shy?
I wouldn't know.
Okay.
I wish I was, and I am absolutely very extremely shy. With the more than shy, shy is gentle. With the publicly showing any signs of vulnerability. Yes, at least I acknowledge it.
هون لأنه شوي you so we went through this journey شوي. You did travel, so a lot to discover more about it.
Absolutely.
So you went to a couple of countries to find out more, learn more, and so on. Can you tell us like, your main stops?
My main stops. Wow. So I've pole danced all over the world. I think I've pole danced in South Africa, Mexico, okay, Cyprus, Dubai, Egypt, Spain. Name me countries. Budapest, Prague, France, all over, Italy, all over. Give me more. Give me.
That's already impressive.
Colorado.
And you competed in Egypt.
I competed in Egypt, yes.
This was your first competition?
That was my first and only competition.
Okay. Can you tell us about it? So how come you found out about it online? How did it happen? شو صار؟
So it's a very famous competition called Pole Theater. It's an independent competition that takes place all over the world every year at different stages. And this time it was hosted in Cairo. So to be honest, I had applied 2 years before in Dubai, but I backed out. I didn't feel it. I didn't feel like it. I felt like I wanted to compete because I had been performing in Lebanon, so I had overcome a bit my fear of stage fright. But كان عبالي I wanted to compete because I felt like I needed to, at that specific time, to take space for myself, focus on my training. When you teach a lot, you give way more than you take. Way more than you take. بس حسيت حالي انه عبالي ركز على حالي بالبول واعمل شيء لإلي. And عبالي because with all the modesty and humbleness, being like the lead pole dancer in Lebanon, it was very hard to feel. It's very hard to get evaluated. So I really felt like I wanted to
go out,
get evaluated by professionals, but also connect with mind-like people, and in general, just experience a competition if I were ever to train my students to compete or organize one myself. So I competed in
لسه لأنه you said Egypt. No, you wouldn't expect a pole dancing competition بمصر. How was it?
So I hear this a lot. بس تعرفوا في pole dancing بالسعودية بمصر بعمان.
It's really competition, so you're making it more public.
Oh yeah. For me, it was amazing. I mean, first of all, there were a lot of Egyptians, but there were a lot of Europeans, even Latin Americans. So for the Egyptians, that competition in Cairo was women's only. It was a women's only competition. It went super well.
It was very competitive. The Kenfi level.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Definitely. There's categories for every level.
You're the first Lebanese to be. So you said it's an international competition. So most probably, a lot of the competitors do apply wherever it is. As you said, maybe it's in Dubai or in Makan. They try to apply for it. Who they go?
You made me realize something. Was I the first Lebanese to ever compete in pole dancing? I think yes.
So معقول.
I think yes. Oh my God, I never thought of it this way.
But you were not approached by any of the competitors. إنه أنت من لبنان إنه ولا مرة ما حدا بوقتها.
No, most of them were the Europeans. Most of them were. It was not their first time competing. The Egyptians and the ones from the Middle East, bala, it was more or less all of us our first times competing. بس وأنا مرة فكرت فيها إنه am I the first Lebanese?
وبوقتها you got podium?
I won!
Oh, no way!
I won.
Okay, so هون بدي أحكي شوي. What is a pole dancing competition?
So it's a bit like any competition. So there's different categories depending on your level, and there's specific grades on which you have to, like specific. So in your category, there are subcategories also. So like, for example, pole art, pole amateur, pole comedy, pole exotic. So it's a subcategory which combines more or less you to a specific theme.
Yeah.
and then you're graded over 50 points, and every 10 is on like any dancing or gymnastic
So
competition.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna use the right word, بس مثلا you prepare choreography معينة على music معينة and then you present it.
Exactly. You apply, and then if you're taken, you have to create another one for the competition. And there's prerequisites, like a minimum of 3 to 4 minutes, minimum 3, maximum 4, depending on the competition you're applying. You have to do, so the pole has 2 options. So the pole has 2 functions.
Okay.
It can either spin, so self-rotate that same pole. Either you set it on static mode, so it doesn't turn. So pole dancing on a static pole and pole dancing on a spinning pole is different dynamics. So technique-wise, it's different. So in any pole dance competition, if you YouTube it, you will always see that on stage, there's 2 poles. One on static, one on spinning. And you have to show that you can pole dance on a static pole dance on a spinning pole, and create and move around both poles. But there's so many different competitions. يعني في competitions where they focus more on tricks. Competition, يعني the gymnastic part. Competition where they focus more on your storyline and the art side of things. So depends where you're
هون
applying.
تقريبا بدنا نحكي عن الموضوع. طب how did it start? If you know a bit about يعني where was it discovered first as a sport? لأنه نحكيها مثلا هلا if we go deeper into the fact that you said مثل taboo هيك, a lot will consider it إنه pole dancing إنه يعني موجود بكاباريه, it's n'importe quoi عم بيصير و it's striptease وما بعرف شو هيك. بس إنه هي technically the history of it, why did it become a sport and it became more evolved in a way to make people understand and showcase? I know there's a lot of sports in it.
Okay, now there's a lot of taboo to both to the history of pole dancing. If you Google it, you'll have different people saying different things. So some say it evolved from Chinese poles, which were like big poles, where it was like a sport, where an acrobatic sports. Yeah, like Chinese history, and other would say it evolved from striptease. I don't mind either. Like I'm okay with it evolving from striptease, and I'm whatever you want, whatever. I mean,
whatever you name it, it's very impressive.
Yeah, why not? If it evolved from striptease,
you said there's skills, there's many things happening. That's why I want to ask, what type of workouts do you guys do?
I think calisthenics evolved from pole dancing.
Hey, if you see the flags with هيدا.
And the pole dancing from striptease, calisthenics from pole dancing, why not?
هذا بينبسطوا.
ايه ما الشباب انه ما كان فيهم يسموها pole dancing. It was more tricks, so سموها calisthenics.
مثلا what type of workouts do you guys do? مثلا I can assume انه كتير صعب مثلا to keep a good grip all the time. ما تزحطوا كتير.
I'm so impressed. برافو توفيق عن جد. People normally say core. You do need a lot of core eventually, but it's a lot of shoulders and grip first and eventually. But to start off on pole dancing, you will feel like you're building mainly push, pulls, and grips, and eventually core and leg engagement and activation. But you'll rarely be bulked from your legs.
Yeah.
But you will definitely gain massive strength on your upper body.
So مثلا when it comes to you مثلا, what do you do in terms of workouts غير outside of the pole at the gym مثلا also?
Yeah, so I personally train twice a week at the gym. It's a total body workout, but with a main focus on lower body. So more gentle on the upper body. I train once a week pole dancing, like my personal training other than my classes, or I try at least, and I try to do once or twice yoga.
Only when I ask, flexibility is important with the pole.
So I try to train flexibility 3-4 times a week, by the way. And it's for me the hardest one of all the ones I named. Flexibility, you don't have to be flexible to start pole dancing, but eventually if there are specific tricks that you want to unlock that contain back bends, shoulder bends, or splits, you need to work on that. And I think that in general, working on your flexibility will help you look, we call it lines, will help you have better lines on the pole. But you're asking this to me, my body is not flexible at all. I am not born flexible. My family is not flexible. I have researched into them one by one. It is not our thing. We are very stiff from everywhere. Shoulders, back, hamstrings, hips, quads, everything's stiff. So I had to put in a lot of work for my splits, and I still do. I have a disc in my neck, so backbends, which I found out after training backbends and them being really like uncomfortable, and I wouldn't understand why they're that painful. Turns out I have a disc, so I don't train backbends much anymore. I just keep it simple, which is fine for me. Like the tricks that require, it's important for me to say this. I know a lot of people think they need to be flexible to start pole dancing, and it frustrates me a lot. So things that require massive backbends, I don't do. They're not for my body.
Injuries. In 2019, you got injured.
How do you know? He knows everything.
You got injured during the competition.
Yes, so I was overtraining. So actually, I was trying to unlock a trick before the competition, which is a lot on shoulders, and I overtrained that. And then I think that when I trained for my competition, I also overtrain. When you train for a competition, once you're close to having your final routine, you're training the same moves. You're repeating the same thing over and over again. So you're not really alternating. فبعتقد شوي, I overdid it. And
so you had the injury before the competition?
Yeah, I was injured during competition.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you got the first place.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so هون تقريبا 2019. So between قصة إنه when your friend, the gym owner, your friend that told you إنه الجيم حيتأخر يفتح, so you had more time to decide, and then you were at the time learning more and more about pole dancing. So eventually, when was your first class?
End 2015, December 2015, the gym opened. So this is when I think I did my first trial class, and then we started in 2016.
Was the gym AA?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Just by the way, just so you know, the only reason I started teaching was because you connect with people on things you love, and I was going crazy. Two things. First of all, I needed to speak. حرام my ex-partner كان يجرب يسيرني. Go, you're doing a butterfly. I know it's called, but so I was going crazy. And I also felt like مش معقول كون أنا الوحيدة مغرومة بهالشي. No way on earth بلبنان إنه come on. So حسيت إنه no, I'm gonna.
But so how did it happen? So you're addressing a subject that is for some taboo, for some that do want to learn this and they're curious about it. يمكن مثلك إنه they didn't know about it, but they found online stuff وهيدا. How did you announce the first class? How was the response? شو صار؟ مين إجا? How was it?
I try to end this very shortly, to answer this question very shortly and say, and long story short, few years later, 6 studios, 6 teachers on the team. Yes, pole dancing is taboo. Yes, it has a stripping connotation, blah, blah, blah. It's doing so well. People love it because it is an amazing sport.
بس إنه هيك يعني مثلا you got into the class. I want to know the story. It's a nice. I think this is one of the main stops for مثل ما you said where you are today. So this first class بتفوتي هيك.
The first class was actually the gym owner's friends.
Fine.
Her girlfriends.
Okay, but I'm sure they weren't expecting anything from this.
Yeah, but they're pretty. So Lebanon has extremely cultural clashes, right? So her friends were more on the
conservative.
No, open-minded.
Okay.
Why not? We don't judge things before we try them. This is how I tackle life anyway. I can have an opinion, but it's just a personal opinion, and I'm aware that it's an opinion that hasn't been fully established yet because I haven't tried the thing or know nothing about it. So they were quite open. I mean, they came. The class was free also, so you might as well come try it. They loved it, which made me feel like, okay, no, let's go. They really loved it. We ended up in a month, I think. So the first month I was teaching 1 class a week, and then the second month we quickly started 2 classes a week, which were full all the time, and it's built up very gradually, 3 classes a week, 4 classes a week. Then it was the most classes a week at that gym, the discipline that had the most classes a week. 2 years later, one of my students became super duper advanced, and I was I was teaching part-time with the restaurants. So I had told my partner, no, I'm going to cut down on some hours. But eventually it was impossible for me to do both. I was getting sick, I remember. So gradually I quit fully when it started being a bit sustainable. And I was so passionate about it, as much as I love the restaurant industry, truly, but it was stronger, it was more powerful. And it had sense, like the hype and the connection with students is priceless. The exchange. And I also felt with time, it really has an impact on Lebanese humans, like women majoritively, but also men.
Does it, like, do you feel like, it's one of the things that could مثلا boost confidence مثلا?
Absolutely, عن جد. Oh my God, what? Definitely. I felt like the reason I connected mainly to pole dancing when I looked into it, why this sport? Yes, the fun, the challenge, the pain, it's so painful on your skin that you have to challenge your mind. And I loved it. And you feel now we have super women's skin. Really, really. And our threshold to pain physically is unimaginable. By far more than the average human being.
بس هم مثلا تقريبا all these years قطعوا هيك. مين who today attend? مين?
I want to answer the first.
Yeah.
Sorry, just saying that really throughout teaching more and more, I really felt like somehow I was having an impact. This discipline, not me personally, but this discipline was having a positive impact on humans, and I've seen drastic changes in some humans. Drastic changes from full-on depression to the happiest humans you've ever met, like from full-on no self-esteem, not comfortable in their own skin whatsoever, to completely liberated and feeling amazing, like own. So yeah, sorry.
That's very nice. بالعكس.
No.
لأنه I personally know a lot of friends that did give pole a try. And to be honest, it went from حكينا بالموضوع, like saying it, عم باخد pole, to actually, لأن هلا social media is a big part of our life too, to actually showcasing it on social media. She's not showcasing, she's not نحكيها مش عم تفرجيك انه هي عم تفرجيك her body or whatever. لا, she's very proud of it. And كسرت البارير المعين اللي هي about it's a taboo. So I was very happy لأنه it went from a talk and moving forward شهر ونص لقدام she's publicly posting it.
Yeah. You need to know that all pole dancers have a pole dancing account.
Okay.
It's not public, it's private. And if you don't know that they have one, they probably have a secret one. Because it's a journey you want to track. Yeah. It's a progress you want to... it's journaling for me, social media.
بس هي كمان لأنه فكرة that they know it, بس they always afraid إنه عيب.
Absolutely. I was also afraid. I was managing... in the restaurant industry, you have a mix of different... backgrounds, different mindsets. So I wanted to start promoting what I did more and more, and selling my classes, people joining. But I was terrified, of being confronted by one of my teammates. I mean, I wasn't terrified, but I didn't want to. I was very uncomfortable, with them finding out. And you have to wear skimpy outfits when you're pole dancing because your skin actually grips you to the pole.
So هون لأنه not to skip, so who is attending your classes throughout the years? We have moms, we do have مثلا people who are full on 5 to 8 jobs بيجوا pole مثلا men
doctors.
الأودينس كيف تقريبا
Very mixed. Very mixed. Pole dancing in Lebanon has become your daily sport. The taboo for me, I always, I find it so ironic لأنه بسمع إنه التابو موجود بس إنه منه موجود.
لا بس مثلا أنا what I see مثلا كيف إنه let's say someone in your class is very confident about it and post about it مثلا or whatever.
Of course, I've had this a million times. I even have a student that received a professional email from her office asking her to stop posting this type of content. But people come and more. بحس هيدا اللي probably من ال HR هيك اللي بعتت لها الايميل انه stop انه عبالها تجرب,
Then I want to say to ask you how it could be and how is مثلا your class a safe space?
First of all, nobody's filmed unless they're okay with being filmed. So I'm تحكي safe place publicly, you mean?
Hey.
Tennessee, we have women's only studio for people that can only abide to those rules. Tennessee, and the most important thing for me here, it's a safe place because I think that Lebanon and the Arab world, as an Arab woman, we grow up with so much physical pressure that it gets to your brain sometimes, and that it creates a social type of competition or weird feeling or of, I don't know, between women. And I've never felt it in my classroom. Never. And I can guarantee because I simply hear it from my students, that it's a very safe space. أول شيء قد ما بتركز على حالك ما حدا عم يطلع بالتاني. تاني شيء وقتها حدا هيك عم بيتعذب وعم تسمع أصواته إنه بين العذاب والوجع إنه he finally does it. Even if people didn't see, we're still like, we know the feeling, so we're clapping for one another. And Telechi, I think with time you get so used to wearing small outfits and surrounded with different shapes and sizes and ages and skin tone and scars and burns and marks, and you understand that you're one in a million. You know, nobody cares. This is you. And
the class, how is it? So what is the type of training بيعملوا the class? I'm sure there's beginner, intermediate, and so on. But usually you guys work on specific drills. Well, how does it happen?
So the class is broken down like this. We do 10 to 15 minutes warm-up. The warm-up can include strengthening exercises at the end, or we can do after the warm-up. So you have warm-up, strengthening exercises, could be with and without the pole. Pole dancing for like 35-40 minutes, and then last 5 minutes between videos and cooling down.
مثلا do you usually مثلا we see it with dancing classes مثلا at the end مثلا do you guys like gather around and someone want to give his 5-minute or 1-minute show he is doing or dance choreography he's working on? Well, you don't have this thing happening too.
I mean, we teach 10 classes a day. After every class, somebody doing a performance is a bit hard, especially if there's a next class after, but they have and I think nobody wants, they all want to film themselves and recap what they've learned in that class. يعني بالعكس, they're always begging for more time. So no, but before I organized the competition last year, okay, there was 2-3 years of COVID before that, and before that we did a student showcase. So the first year there was 7 students, the second year there was like 30 students showcasing their talent and
so you mentioned COVID. How was it going during COVID? Paul مش مين ما كان حيكون عنده بالبيت.
Yeah.
مثلا gym workouts.
But you'd be shocked.
Oh wow.
We did classes online.
Nice.
I know. Bala. I know I've been teaching since 2015. So the people that have been pole dancing for above 2-3 years, be sure that they have a pole at home.
So how do you get the pole at home?
So you ship it. You order it online, you ship it. It's the easiest way. I used to ship them and sell them, but after the crisis, because it's not a cheap thing يعني.
بس a pole you drill ولا إنه كيف بيهدي بالحيط عندك?
So normally if it's gonna be very very much used, like for studios and you have high ceilings, it's preferable to have a small it's a small thing you have sealed up on the ceiling and a small hole in the wall, so you connect it to this. But for the home poles, it's expandable like a barre fixe.
Oh, nice. It's safe وكل شيء.
Super safe.
Nice.
If it's well installed, it's super
safe. Do you have like a couple of stories مثلا of people who have been with you like for a very long time, like do you feel like some of them could be potentially pro athletes also in pole dancing?
I have a student. Okay, so she was an ex-gymnast. Okay, so she did gymnastics for a good years since she was a kid. But she started pole dancing 2 years into it. I think she's now one of the strongest pole dancers in the world.
Nice.
In the world.
And she's planning on maybe competing one day.
I keep pushing her. She.
Nice. Pole بالclasses, what is a kit? What does a pole dancer need?
What do you mean?
Ah,
Kit.
Kit.
By the way, that student is called Paul Chishu, and a small shout out to her because she's a monster.
بس بدنا نقول انه to actually compete with.
Monster to compete. Yes. Oh, definitely to compete. But I mean, for me, compete if you feel like it. Some people are not made for competition.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm not obsessed with the stage, honestly. And it's, I think it's, I like it when it pushes my boundaries. Once you pushed, خلاص, no, I want something new.
Do you feel you're going to compete anytime soon
No,
again? Okay.
I like organizing competitions now.
Okay.
So
the kit, when it comes to pole
so you
dancing
need
class.
tiny little shorts. The shorter, the better, because we use our inner thighs as grips also. And from the top, you can wear. It's better to have a sports bra in case you need belly skin, but you can always start with a tank top.
But when all of these, the material should be what?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Because the skin.
Okay.
We're trying not to make contact with the material. The skin is what is gonna hold you. Yeah.
I had من زمان كنت فكر انه this is a thing you use طلع انه بالعكس يمكن ما بيسوا you don't use chalk.
You're right, Bala. So a very small outfit and a bit of grip. So pole dance grips are the best grips for pole dancing.
The liquid one that becomes.
Yeah, it's liquid. Yeah, it's also like a chalk mixed with stuff probably, which we sell at the school, and a small towel to wipe your pole. Yeah.
But some people مثلا they use high heels or مثلا.
Yeah. So pole dancing, just like any type of dancing. So pole dancing is dancing with a pole, right? It's also pole. I wish it was called pole dancing or pole gymnastics. Because you really do have both dancing and gymnastics. And some people do only the dancing part, and some people do only the gymnastics part. I teach both. In pole dancing, just like dancing, you can dance salsa. There's a category that's called exotic, which is about using very high platforms that have a specific curve in the front and on the side that you use exactly like ballerinas use their pointe. So you use the edge. It's called edge work. So you use the point of that heel. But instead of being a ballerina shoe, it's a super cool.
Nice.
8-inch heel. So this is more called exotic. You use it more to do floor work. And it's very hard because you use a lot your hands. Because you can do it with leggings. Also, you notice that most people that do exotic can wear leggings if they want. They don't need much skin grip. But it's one of the very
في منهم بيلبسوا مثلا shin guards وهيك مرات ولا this is.
So when you do exotic, since you're doing a lot of floor work, you land a lot of your knees. So it's preferable to have knee pads to protect your knees.
لأن you said it مثلا have you had مثلا as some beginners مثلا إنه كتير إنه أول فترة إنه a lot of bruise and so on لا ما بدي بقى هيدا الشيء.
I've had. So I often get asked in podcast شو رأيك بالpole dancing والتابو when sometimes the whole conversation is about this and I get really bored because it actually practically in my daily life has little value. But what matters are stuff like this, like people thinking they need to be strong to start pole dancing or be flexible. No, you just need to come up and have fun. You asked me a question. People are very terrified of the bruising. You bruise temporarily and you bruise also depending on your skin type. But if you're somebody that bruises a lot, let's say, you will bruise a lot at first, but eventually you stop. You stop bruising. You will only bruise back if you've been over abusing a new trick that you're trying to unlock.
بين ما صرت على البول and then to do بين every drill moving forward you have to think a lot while on the pole.
At the stage where I am today, depending on if I'm doing a training session where I'm really pushing my boundaries and limits or just getting on the pole because I miss it and I love it and I just want to be on it and just flow. When I flow, no, I don't overthink what I'm doing.
Okay.
My body, I know I'm also as shocked as you, by the way, especially me because I've always been a little bit ورشة إنه بالحياة. So my mom, when I first got you know somebody is really great when it looks effortless. Okay? This is when it looks absolutely effortless and graceful and light as a feather. This is when you know, oh my God, there's a lot of strength there. So when I started getting a little bit better, my mom was shocked and she kept commenting on every once in a while. You look so elegant. You look so feminine. What a girl. I was like, I know, right? That's me. This is what I took from pole dancing. So, and I still do. So I don't know how to explain it. Like,
بس مثلا أنا لأنه I've seen a couple of
I want to pole dance
shows.
now.
مثلا you guys eventually does it matter مثلا a very well or choreography should end with a specific landing مثلا ولا ما خاص؟ يعني مثلا you said مثلا the splits. I see a lot مثلا it ends إنه بينزلوا عن pole split. طب between all the movements and so on إنه you need to think a lot. No, heck, I'm assuming when I see it from an outsider, and no, she needs to. No, she's thinking now. He is thinking no. Now is the time to get into this, into this.
Depending on your level, definitely. Like students, this is the learning curve. أصلاً يعني, I know you notice a lot that when students start getting better, they're getting better in their moves. يعني فيهم يعملوا A, B, C, D ورا بعض. بس وجههم super focused لأنه عم بيفكروا ب what's coming next. Whereas sometimes you can see another flow where the person just has their eyes closed and flowing because the body starts to in the ما هو وقت بتتعلم تحكي يعني تركز A, B, C بتصير تقول انه ما بعرف واو I got deep بتصير تقول بالون B-A-L بالون بعدين انه are you actually thinking of the letters you're using now to talk to me? No. So it's the same thing. And once your tricks have been unlocked and you've repeated them countless times, you can just get on the pole, close your eyes, and create magic. Yeah. And yes.
Is it also about balance on the pole? يعني كمان فيك تخلي الإيلون على طول ماشي مرات.
Yes, you need to understand how the pole spins, how much it spins depending on how much power you will give it, and depending on the tricks you're doing. Okay, we got very technical. If the body parts are very far from the pole, it's gonna decrease the spin. The more you bring your body parts close to the pole, it's gonna add the spin. So when you're doing a split, for example, and you feel like the pole has stopped spinning, try to move to something more close if you want the pole to keep rotating.
Okay.
But even if it stops, if you're just there to enjoy it, doesn't matter if it stops.
I want to talk about pole fit.
Lebanon.
Yeah. So what is it? Is it more than a brand? I see from the page that you showcase the classes, the teachers, and everything is there more. So what is the idea of pole fit?
For me, Polefit Lebanon is a community. It's a community of different people from different backgrounds that come together with an open mind, a mindful.
But how do they gather more than just
spirit.
Online?
What do you mean in the class? We do outings.
Okay.
We do so many outings, especially in summer. We do like I think twice a year. Twice a year, Christmas and midsummer, we do like a huge student gathering. And this summer we did like a lot. I think we did once every month, almost, gatherings in public spaces where we do pole jams. We just put the poles and people come and the girls jump and a lot of random people like start giving it a try as well. And it's very liberating. I'm telling you, like a lot of girls would never first few سهرات بيقولوا لي no way اطلع على البول, no way مع انه they love it. In the classroom they will be the first one to do their thing, but eventually by the end of the day they're all on the poles.
Well, and pole fit also now is it includes teachers. How many teachers?
6.
And
sorry, pardon. I think that pole dancing creates such a massive self-esteem that you can publicly forget that there's other people's eye on you and just enjoy doing your thing with your friends.
Je me rappelle شفتك كنا grand.
Yeah.
There was like 5,000, no 4,000, or whatever.
You don't see them.
Yeah.
You're just connecting with your students.
And then the
pole,
and at some point there was I noticed you, and I remembered you, and then people started jumping on the pole, but all of them, they know what they're doing, and they were just انه صاروا يطلعوا لابسين jeans whatever يلا
Yeah.
خلص.
So falling down,
إيه.
يحملوا بعض, not looking good on the pole, just trying to have fun, you know. Like it
Exactly.
wasn't about. It was like playing it. It's like playing a game publicly.
Yeah.
في عالم بيحبوا beer pong, في عالم بيحبوا pole dancing.
How many facilities are you guys available on now? So where, is it?
So we're located in Verdun, بعبدا, مرم خايل, قرنة شهوان, Zoo and Batroun.
Nice. So you went كمان برا the city يعني.
Yeah.
Was it كمان عم نحكي مثلا باترون كمان صار في هلا audience?
So Batroun last summer was the first summer, and we started at the end of the summer.
Okay.
So we started like late August, early September. So I want to say, and it did well, but we only had 2 classes a week. I'm hoping that this summer we can get to add a little more classes. And the studio, please عن جد the studio in Batroun, I've received messages from pole dancers around the world, from all nationalities around the world, saying, where is this? Where is this? Lebanon, we're coming. We want to try that studio.
على البحر?
So you have the whole view على البحر, but it's in a very old garden, elevated. And because the garden is super old, the trees are enormous. So you're elevated on a platform surrounded with the trees on the sea. يعني the sea مش إنه كتير بعيدة. The sea is right there. But you're in the middle of the jungle with the... It's so nice.
Nice.
It was credit to Ohana Yoga Space, which I work with in Batroun.
So technically this
Mayuli.
summer would be the first summer إنه full on رح يكون هونيك.
From beginning to end,
Yeah.
yes.
So بيبين أكتر وأكتر إنه قد إيه في عالم وهذا. وthe championship. So I'm assuming the first one can be 2022.
Last year,
22.
May, yes,
So
correct.
بعده طازة.
Yes.
A championship is important for sports لأنه you are showcasing. يعني you bring more awareness. يعني في public فيهم يحضروا.
Yes, but they will be screened at the door.
Okay, أكيد. To make it again a safe place.
Yeah, a safe place for it.
But so it is more and more reaching out to an audience to create awareness. يعني not
Yes.
just about هذا. How is
And
it
showing
going?
that it's a sport, because you compete when you يعني ما بعد في stripping competition. في pole dancing competition, but there are no stripping
How many
competition.
people did actually compete?
Last year 30, from 12 years old to 55 years old.
Wow. Nice. وكان في like a couple of judge and the competition happened وشو صار يعني how was it? Was it divided like normal
Yeah.
competitions?
So there was 2 categories, amateur. Yeah, absolutely standardized. And this is what I wanted. I wanted to feel like because I organized the competition. So polefitlebanon, Loli organized the competition. Polefitlebanon is the leading and only pole dancing school in Lebanon. So a lot of students competed there, but we've had applications from Barra as well. But I wanted to feel like if students from Polefitlebanon compete in that competition, they're ready to compete anywhere around the world because it's standardized. They know what to expect.
So it's like a local gate to access.
Yes,
that.
I made it exactly as any competition.
Well, this year, when is it happening?
So مبدئيا in August.
Nice.
So I had it set for June 2nd, but a lot of people have been complaining that it's in the middle of exams and finals and was a bit short notice. So I'm in the middle of this, by the way, this week, deciding if it stays June 2nd or first week of August. تيجوا الexpats.
ما أول شيء expats تو كمان كان بدي أسأل إنه في مثلا هلا people reaching out من برات لبنان.
Yes.
Yeah.
More this year than last.
Nice.
Yes.
وما بعرف إذا مثلا هلا right now مثلا first place شو بيطلع لهم what happens for now.
So actually it's not bad. ليش عملت هيك؟ We no, it's really not bad يعني. But financial price, it's impossible because you have no financial sponsors. Plus, we're still selling our tickets for a low price.
Make it accessible.
Comparing to stage, sound, light, and judges coming from abroad. So it's
judges
yes, last year we had 2,
as?
one Russian and one Egyptian.
Nice.
This year we have 1 Mexican and 2 local. 3 this year.
Nice.
So it's very hard, but we have a lot of prices.
Feel like
I think
a
for
union?
about $400. What?
There's like a pole union مثلا برا. Do you have like مثلا مثل yoga you get accredited by specific unions or so on. في شيء for pole internationally?
Yes, but honestly this
It's a mess.
yes, it's a mess. Like there's a pole dancing federation, but there's a lot of teachers training certificate that are so bad.
Have you ever seen هيدا hijabi?
Yeah, especially in Egypt. In Lebanon, we have one of our studios in Verdun, which is women's only. For that specific reason exactly, so that it's a space for everyone. But here, definitely 100%. Yani. But in Egypt, I want to say 75%, 80% maybe.
Nice. I have one last question.
Maybe 70.
On a personal level.
Yeah.
Okay, so بعد كل هالسنين وبعد هيدا, would you what do you prefer most, to combine pole dancing مع موسيقى عربية ولا English, French أو
I want to say English.
Okay, but you've tried العربي كمان?
Yes, I've just pole danced on such a 3 posts ago. A jam, an Arabic jam. But it's funny you're asking that because recently I've been so into Arabic R&B and hip hop and rap so much, and I've realized that the talents are enormous. There's so many. It's booming like crazy. There's so many talented Arabic hip hop artists. Unbelievable, yani. So I've been a lot into that. But normally I connect very much more to very soft sounds and lyrics because pole dance brings this vulnerable side.
How does the music affect it? يعني مثلا إذا كان عربي أو هيدا بس let's say le rythme كان هو ذاته same rythme غنية عربي أو غنية in French أو English. Do you feel any difference by the way you are dancing on the pole?
I don't know what you mean by le rythme is different, but depending on the sound, it's a make or break for it. Like I've had an artist asking me if I can pole dance on her upcoming song. And I said, I love you. You're doing amazing, but there's no way, I'm not a machine. I need to listen to the song. Wow. And if I connect to the song and I can quickly say, oh my God, I want to pole dance on this song. Then I will do it. And I did. It's a beautiful song. It's called Wide Eyes by Shana, which is a Lebanese artist, by the way. Right. And the song is amazing. So for me, the sound, English, Arabic, I never think of it this way.
Have you tried any time? Have you ever tried to do it on a Fairuz or Sabah song? Like
no.
Very classical?
No.
No.
But I could see that happening. I like classical a lot.
Okay.
No, I haven't.
Now, whoever want to reach out in terms of, or to be a part of your classes, or for whatever tips, or when they have their pole, how they can reach on your Instagram.
Yes. So the school is called polefitlebanon. You can send us a DM. We're very active. We'll send you a number. Or on my personal Instagram, lollipole, but preferably
So on Polefit, they can find whatever facility, whatever is available in terms of event to kill in this space. Oh, you have a website, no?
Not yet.
For the championship.
For the competition, yes. So for the competition, everything is on the website, from the judges to the timeline to how to apply.
So how do they apply? They apply directly from the website?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a thing that says apply. You fill in a form. You submit the video. There's an application fee, and you're done. We'll get back.
Have you ever? No. Last one.
Go for it.
Did you give a show since then in the bachelorette? No, it started with the bachelorette and.
Did I perform?
Yeah,
I've been performing for the past 7 years, a lot, to the point where I'm like, oh, I'm over it. Really, I'm starting to feel like I'm over it. I've performed recently. We did a double with my friend, which is also one of our teachers. And it was, I think, one of the performances I've enjoyed the most because it was the first time doing something à deux in a very open-minded space. So we really went crazy and a little bit naughty, and it was so much fun.
Do you get when a poll? Do you get usually like applause when it's done?
Oh my God, yes! Throughout you. When you're in the middle of it, you can feel it, but you're not sure. But when you watch the videos, you really realize that, yes. Okay. But there are some moves that you know 100% you're going to know. This is what the crowd loves. You just do them. Even though sometimes they're not أصعب شيء, but the crowd loves it. So you try to always include it.
Nice. عن جد, Laura, thank you so much. Merci beaucoup. I had more than fun يعني.
Yay, thank you. Amjad.
Hopefully we'll sit again very soon يعني نحكي
You need to try pole dancing, buddy.
I will. Next time نعمل episode after. So after my trial نحكي عن الموضوع.
Men love trying it. It's crazy.
خلص done.
I've hosted, by the way, men's classes, and the hustle is real. I've posted videos on our social media on polefitlebanon. Please watch them. They're hilarious. Big, strong men from
خلص.
the gym.
Like, and stay tuned on my episode on pole dancing.
Can't wait. Thanks for hearing, guys.
Thank you so much.